Indeed, Abraham was a nation, obedient to Allah, a Hanif, and he was not a polytheist.
In part 1 of Prophet Ibrahim's story, The Birth, we learned about the miracles birth of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam inside the cave. Due to the dangers surrounding his life, he spent the first 13 to 15 years of his life in that very cave. Eventually, with his mother's permission, Hazrat Ibrahim emerged out from the secluded cave and set out his journey towards the city of Babylon. In the ancient city of Babylon, people began to worship idols, even though it had only been 1,000 years since Prophet Nuh had guided them to worship one God. They had seen the miracle of his ark's salvation, but they still turned away from Allah's path. Later, they witnessed Prophet Saleh and the miracle of his camel, yet they were drawn to worshipping creations. They also saw the devastating screeching wind that destroyed the people of Ad during the time of Prophet Hud, but they ignored the divine commandments and reverted to worshipping idols and deities. People had stayed so far from the worship of one true God that they even began worshipping star, moon, and sun. Prophet Ibrahim's mission was to invite people to the belief in one God, Tawheed, and to cleanse them from the practice of idolatry. It was night when Hazrat Ibrahim set out from the cave towards his city. While he was still on his way, he was drawn by a commotion. Looking ahead, he saw a group of people engrossed in the worship of a shining star in the sky called Zora. This star Zora, the creation of Allah, used to be considered by them as God. Hazrat Ibrahim desired to call these people towards the belief in one God, Tawheed. He slowly approached them, and when he got closer, he sought to gain their trust by saying, "This is my Lord."
When night darkened over him, he saw a star and said, "This is my Lord."
Upon hearing this, the people believed that Hazrat Ibrahim was acknowledging their deity as his own and were overjoyed. However, Hazrat Ibrahim was actually questioning them, asking, "This is my Lord." They welcomed Hazrat Ibrahim into their group, but their happiness was short-lived. When the morning light overpowered the star's glow and it faded away, Hazrat Ibrahim questioned, "What kind of Lord is this that can be overpowered?"
But when it set, he said, "I do not like those who disappear."
In this way, Hazrat Ibrahim demonstrated his wisdom and shook the minds of the star worshippers, urging them to seek the true and real God. Next, Hazrat Ibrahim encountered those who worshipped the moon. One night, he saw a group of people in the desert engrossed in the worship of the moon. Just as he had made the star worshippers realize that anything that can be overpowered cannot be a true God, he approached these moon worshippers. He subtly blended in with them, giving the impression that he was one of them. He then said, "This is my Lord."
Then, when he saw the moon rising, he said, "This is my Lord."
The people were delighted that a young man had joined their faith. However, as the moon's light began to diminish, Hazrat Ibrahim raised an objection once again, revealing his rejection of their idolatry and distancing himself from their beliefs.
But when it set, he said, "Had my Lord not guided me, I would surely have been among the people gone astray."
These people, just like the star worshippers before them, were left speechless. Among the celestial objects worshipped at that time, the sun was the last. Hazrat Ibrahim then joined the worshippers of the sun, blending in with them just as he had with the others.
Then, when he saw the sun rising, he said, "This is my Lord. This is bigger."
When the sun also set, Hazrat Ibrahim once again challenged their beliefs. He shook their understanding by questioning, "What kind of God is this that fades away?" He emphasized that a true Lord is one who is constant and unchanging, not subject to the cycles of day and night.
But when it set, he said, "O my people, indeed I disown what you take as his partners."
Hazrat Ibrahim had ignited deep questions in the minds of the people, but he did so with patience and wisdom. He confronted ignorance and idolatry with insight and understanding. After challenging the worship of stars, the moon and the sun, Hazrat Ibrahim faced the another form of idolatry, the worship of idols. This idol worship was so entrenched that even his own uncle was involved in it. Join us for the next part, where we'll explore how Prophet Abraham challenged the idol worshippers, Insha'Allah. Stay tuned.